Okay, so we're live now. We'll just wait for people to join in. There's nobody here yet. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. How are we doing? Or good evening if you're in Nigeria or other part of Africa. Okay, somebody's in the studio. Good afternoon. I don't know your name, but I can see somebody already joined us. So I have my guest already in the studio. Zion, please, I beg you. Go upstairs. Yeah, so my guest is with us today, and she's a study abroad expert. I usually follow her a lot. Oh, Prince Will is here. Prince Will, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, okay, people are joining in now. She's a study abroad expert. I don't want to keep much of us waste too much of our time. So I've been following her and I see what she does. And so she'll be introducing herself to us now, also telling us about her own journey to Canada and how she was able to, migrate successfully here. I think I know a bit of it, but I like to hear it from her. I just see her type it and I'm inspired. So yeah, and she's also a PhD student. I feel so excited to have a doctor in the house. So if I was doing a physical studio now, I'll roll a red carpet for you because of course this is the big woman. This yeah. So introduce yourself to us, ma. Thank you so much.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Zino Ojogbo. I am a study abroad consultant at Success Factors Migration, and I am also a PhD candidate at the University of Waterloo in Ontario. I'm sure a lot of you know the University of Waterloo, or you may have heard of it. I like to brag about my university, that my university is the number one university in innovation in Canada. So I'm proud of the school. Anyways, 5 years ago, yeah, 2017 to now is 5 years. 5 years ago, I came to Canada as an international student to do my master's degree in chemical engineering. That getting there up until the point where I came to Canada is a whole long story. And then I did my master's and I completed my master's in 20 I started my master's in 2017. I completed my master's in 2019. And during the process of the master's, I tell people that this is a journey. During the process of the master's, I fell in love with research. And that was where I found a new path for myself. And I decided, okay, why not? Let's get to the end of this. And I started my PhD. In between then, between being an international student and finishing my master's and my PhD, I got my permanent residency in Canada. And yeah, I became a permanent resident in 2019. And since then, I've been doing my PhD. Between the time I came into Canada and now, first of all, I came to do my master's degree on full scholarship. And between that time and now, I've been able to secure over $350,000 in scholarships. And now I teach people that it is very possible for you to access global opportunities and take advantage of global opportunities and use that to relocate. Because just like many people who are trying to relocate via one means or the other, or via the study abroad pathway, I'd like to let us know that the study abroad pathway is the easiest and fastest way to relocate abroad, first of all, to any country of your choice. So I know that a lot of people have the challenge of finances. That's what comes to mind once you hear study, because of course you have to pay tuition, you have to pay living expenses, you have to pay travel bills. And just like many of us, I was in that position so many years ago where I had no idea of how I was going to fund my study. If it's okay, I can share a bit of my backstory in Nigeria before I came to Canada. Okay, so let me tell you guys my story. I graduated from the University of Benin in 2010. I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. And I like to see myself, I like to count myself as lucky. Right after university, during my NYC, I got a job in one of the oil service companies, Baker Hughes. And at that time, I was also thinking of, I had it in mind that I would like to relocate abroad to study. But when this job came, I decided that why not? This is a good job. Stay here and do the job. The job was, the pay from the job was okay. It was all servicing firm, of course. The pay from the job was okay. It was good. And I'm like, why not I stay back and do the job? So I was working at my job, and this job exposed me to global opportunities as well, because we had training centers in Dubai. They send you to US to do training and whatnot. So it was fun and it was interesting, interacting with all companies, going for trainings abroad and working in that company. I worked there for 4 years. In 2016, I remember that day where I was sitting in my office and I received a call from the legal team. By this time, oil price had dropped and I lost that job. By the time I lost the job, I looked into my bank account. There was no money there. Like, I couldn't see anything coming. Anyways, at that time, they were also letting go of staff. It affected banking industry, affected the oil industry, everybody. So all these companies were letting go of their employees. And I was looking for a job now. And I contacted everybody in my network. And they're like, yeah, in my company, they're also letting go of people. When there's an opening, would let you know. And I was very sad. It happened a day to my birthday in 2016. I was very sad. Like, what next for me? I felt like I didn't have any experience aside from the experience I had in the oil and gas industry. And if oil and gas industry is not hiring people, where do I even take this experience to? I did not know how to transfer my experience across industry. And of course, many of us know how Nigeria is. For you to get a job in Nigeria, it takes luck. Anyways, I was really sad, and that was when I decided that okay, maybe it's time for me to go back to revisit my study abroad dreams. Maybe it's time for me to actually go abroad, go back to school and try to carve a new career path for myself. And then I'm like, okay, I begin to think about it. Where do I go to? I choose Canada, I choose my country, and I start looking online for schools. Again, that was when I realized that okay, this venture I'm about to embark on is expensive, and my bank account and this my new goal doesn't align. So looking at the money in my bank account, it was not even possible for me to go on this journey. But then I know that from my university days, there are some people that right after our bachelor's degree, they went abroad to study. I know that these people too did not have money. So how did they do it? Like, they are not so rich to afford it. So how did they do it? I begin to ask people questions. They say, apply for scholarships. Where do I find these scholarships? Tell you, they're on Google, check here. Anyways, the first thing that I did was to contact an agent, which is what many people do when they want to go abroad. The first thing that comes to mind is agent. I contacted this agent. The first agent took my money. I did not see agent. I did not see money. I did not see admission. I looked for another agent. I was lucky for the second time. Agent gave me, helped me to get admission. By the time offer letter came, when I saw the school fees, it was so expensive. There was no money. I couldn't claim that admission. That's when I decided, okay, it's time for me to start looking at these opportunities. I checked Google. I tried to find some scholarships. You put in your application, you're not successful. Then there was a day I was watching one of those sales videos or sales webinar, something online, where the person said that every product has like its shortcomings, but not every customer sees the shortcomings. So again, it depends on how the owner of this product packages the product to the customer. That is what they would see. So I thought about it like, okay, why am I getting rejected in my applications? Maybe if the way I present myself is the issue. So how do I package myself to showcase my strengths so that these people would want to invest in me? Based on that mindset, I repackaged my application and submitted my application. All I was looking for at this time was 1 yes. I just needed 1 yes from somebody to tell me that, okay, we believe in you. Come and take this funding and go to school. So luck came upon me and I got this admission with funding into the University of Waterloo. All the other schools I applied to, they rejected me, but it was okay because I wanted 1 yes and I got the 1 yes. And that was how I came to Canada in 2017 on full scholarship with my 2-year-old son to come and study. If you look behind me, let's see. There, you can see that's my son's picture. And that's how we started our life in Canada. So ever since then, I began to teach people that you can go to school abroad with funding, you can get scholarships. Because not everybody that goes abroad to study has money. Gone are those days study abroad was only for the rich. Now, because there are opportunities, there are scholarships and all that, it has kind of created a level ground for even the people that cannot afford it to compete and also get these opportunities. But then again, you need access to information, access to the right information. You need to practice these opportunities.
Somebody is asking what course you came to Canada to study. Maybe the person missed that.
Oh, I studied chemical engineering. I have to do chemical engineering, and my PhD is also in chemical engineering.
You love it that much. Wow, chemical engineering. I like chemistry though. I think it's interesting, but I don't know if I can do engineering. I'm not sure.
I think engineering is even easier than chemistry.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Maybe you have a passion for it because I feel engineering will be taxing and I don't know. I think it's scary.
yeah.
Okay.
So since then, I've been teaching people. So for myself, I've been able to stack scholarships and secure over 300K scholarship for myself. In fact, in Canada, I got the federal government scholarship, the Ontario state government scholarship, the University of Waterloo scholarship, and so many other scholarships. As a community, I've helped people to secure over $3 million in scholarship. So
Wow.
that created a level ground between the rich that can afford to send their children abroad and the people that cannot afford it, because now there are these opportunities for you to get. So
Yeah.
for right information, right strategy, right tools, for you to be able to compete on a global scale, because now it's not there are so many other countries. So for you to be able to compete on a global scale to secure these opportunities, and this is what I teach. I teach people how to get the scholarship opportunities so that they too can
Yeah.
relocate abroad to better life, better opportunities, a system that works, and leave their unemployed state just like I left in Nigeria.
Actually, that was so inspiring. I said something when you were talking that sometimes when we lose things or when there is pain, it makes us to re-strategize. Because if you do lose your job, you probably would think, "Oh, I'm good, I'm fine,"
Yeah.
but you wanted more after the loss or the pain. So that's so inspiring. That'll bring me to my first question. People will also drop their question. So, how do we break the barrier? Because when people say age, oh, I'm 40, I'm 45, I'm 35. How do we break that barrier of be age wise to come to study here? Because some people see it as a very big barrier. So, are there loopholes? Are there chances that somebody older can come to study? And what are their chances?
Okay, so the study pathway is the only relocation pathway that doesn't have any age restriction. For example, you see, like express entry, for example, the older you are, the lower your chances are. But with study, everybody can come to school to study. So, regardless of your age, you are 50 is not a problem. You just need, again, like I said, it's the way you package yourself and the way you present yourself. So, you just need to show what have you been doing between your study gap. So, let's say you finished school 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Like me, I had 7 years study gap myself, for example. But then I also had work experience. So that's what I used to fill that gap. So you just need to fill the gap. What have you been doing? And even for people that have been unemployed, some people have been taking care of families, maternity leave, for example. These are valid things that you can claim in this end of the world, that you were raising your family and within these 8 years you had 4 children and you have to cater for your 4 children until all of them got into school. These are valid claims that you can claim here abroad that maybe in other countries, African countries, you may not be able to claim it. So your study gap or your age is not a factor. It does not put you at a disadvantage when you're trying to apply for study. Because even for most people, like for me, when I interviewed with my supervisor, he wanted me so bad because of my industry experience. So he's like, okay, this person has the background and also has the industry experience. It means that should be a good fit for this position, that should be a good fit for this lab and to do this work. So sometimes what we see as a disadvantage is not necessarily a disadvantage, except you don't understand how to package yourself as this product for people to want to invest in you.
Amazing. Dr. You're making I want to register under your mentorship already. This woman, you are too loaded. I'm like, no, this is the coach I've been looking for. Yes. Yeah, that's so somebody dropped the question. If my partner aren't married during the procession, can we relocate together? Say we get married after the processing is done.
Okay, so well, it is possible, but you have to show, like in Canada, for example, there's something they call common law relationship. So if
Okay.
it's a common law relationship, what makes people common law is that you have lived together for 3 years and you have to have proof that you have lived together. So, like on your lease, where you live, they are both your names there, or on your utility bills, they are both your names there,
Okay.
or
Okay.
have a this is a common law relationship. As long as you have given birth and you have a child together, this is regarded as a common law relationship. So if you are this kind of you have this show that and this person have come together, of course. Can't hear.
Said, how do we go about application repackage? Do you help in writing and arranging CV to make it more presentable? Do they need CV for study?
Oh, yes. So for study, you need something called academic CV. Your academic
Oh.
CV is professional CV. So if you're applying to study abroad, of course, yeah, you need your study, you need CVs. You need other documents like your SOPs, you need reference letters. So these are the other documents that you need to prepare for your application package. And these documents, they need to be solid because, again, like I said, you are competing on a global scale with people from different countries. So yes, you need to pack it. So this person is asking me if I help in arranging CV. So I have a mentorship program, like a training where we teach you how to prepare these documents. So we give you the tools. We teach you how to prepare the documents. We host workshops where coaches work with you. Then we give you samples. We give you tools to prepare it. And we give you templates just to make it easy for you to transfer your experience into an already built template of the CV, and then we also do the document review for you. So when it's done, we review the document for you. So this is all included in the mentorship program.
Okay, so how do we register for your mentorship program? Can you tell us your IG and how to register if you want to register for the mentorship program?
Okay, so you'll find me on Instagram at Zino Ojogbo. That is ZinoOjogbo. You can also find me on Facebook at Zino Ojogbo too. Same name, ZinoOjogbo. And you can send me a DM and I respond to all my DMs. So if you send me a message to tell me that you want to make inquiries about the program, the mentorship program, I'm going to send you all the details and send you the link, and you'll be able to register from there.
So much. Yes, you respond to DM. I can attest to you because when I wanted to send a DM for this program, like she's a very big woman in this Canada. Like I see what she does. I don't know if she's going to respond, but I was just like, oh, thank God. So when she called me, she even called me. I was like, oh, thank you so much. So I can attest that she responds to her DM. And yes, you can check out her Instagram and because I personally learned a lot from her page. So at least you would, if you want to, if I want somebody to mentor me, I probably would check what they post first to see that okay, this person is really knowledgeable. And from what she says, you will know that yes, she knows her onions. Because if I was going to go to school, I have a coach already. So this person say, have you coached anyone with tutu to secure a scholarship?
Yes. So we've caught people with tutu to secure scholarship. So there are two things that people with tutu have to look at. For example, if you are coming to Canada, for example, they look at your CGPA in the last 2 years of your study. So some people make this mistake and they are like, okay, if you calculate your CGPA in the last 2 years, you may go into a 2-1 if you calculate the last 2 years. But even if you have a 2-2, there are other opportunities for you because there are different kinds of funding. When people hear scholarships, all they think about is that you must have first class. I, for one, do not have first class. But there are different kind of opportunities and different kind of scholarships. You just need to find the one that is meant for you. So there are scholarships that require you to have high grades. There are others that don't require you to have high grades. They are needs-based award. They are assistantships. So you just need to find the one that is suitable for you and apply for that one. So yes, people with tutu. In fact, I have some people in the US, some in Canada, some in the UK that have secured funding even with their tutu. And also you also see a lot of people on LinkedIn, for example, even the ones that have not coached, you see them on LinkedIn as well, where they secured scholarships with tutu. Because at the end of the day, what matters is what you have done after your tutu. And when it comes to these scholarships, your grade is only a small fraction of what is required for you to succeed. There are other non-transcript documents, like we call them, like your reference letters, your volunteering experience, your CV. What have you done outside of your tutu? But some people, what I find is that most people focus on the thing that they don't have. So they not say that, oh, scholarship for people with first class, because I don't have first class. Then they don't look at the other things that they could as well get the opportunity of packaging properly that they even have. So they don't focus on that, and then they use their tutu and say their tutu is their disadvantage. No, your tutu is not your disadvantage. There are opportunities for you too.
Quite agree with that. That's why I always I can't stress it on that everybody needs mentorship because you cannot be a guru in every field. In fact, even if you're a guru in that field, you still, because for people, a lot of people see that tutu as disadvantage. You are right. Because when I organize program, I hear this tutu all the time. So I know that they don't know how to really fish out the opportunities. That's why you need mentorship. If you meet a coach will be able to decipher. But like, this program now is general. But if you go to her one-on-one, okay, she's asking you a question, what did you study? Then she brings solution out based on your own, what are the problems we see, what are the solutions? So that's why I would just really recommend a mentorship program. So this person says, my work experience doesn't match my BSc degree. Is it possible to acquire scholarship? You know, in Nigeria, one barely works with their degree.
Yes, it's possible. So for me, even though I had a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering, my job in the oil industry was more like a petroleum engineer's job.
Yeah.
But I also secured scholarship back in chemical engineering 7 years later to do my master's degree. So yes, it is possible. You just needed something that we call program of best fit. Based on your educational background and your work experience, you need to find the best program for you to give you the best advantage for your application. And if you even apply to the wrong program, some people forget it affects them in their visa application. This is what some people don't take note of. So it's important that you find a program of best fit. And even if you have done something different, as long as you are applying for something that you have credibility for, and when I say credibility, something that you can either show that you have the background for, as long as you are applying for a program that you can show that you have the background for, yes, you'll be successful. An example, I gave an example recently of somebody that has a bachelor's in biochemistry, and then the person has worked in the bank in operations and teller, those ones that sit in front and give people money for, let's say, 5 years, and then you come and say you want to go and do a master's in IT. That one will not fly because it's not in, you don't have the credibility for it, and it's not even it doesn't even align with any of your bachelor's degree or your work experience. It won't fly. But if you do something that is either related to your work experience or your bachelor's degree, then yes, it will fly. You'll be able to get something.
Thank you very much. I like what you said about I can't remember the exact word you used, but like finding opportunities in like something your best fit. I think you mentioned best fit. Yes, there is always something for everybody. That's what I believe. You just have to really find out which one really works for you. If person says, is it compulsory for one to have work experience before applying for masters?
No, it's not compulsory. Fresh graduates can apply for masters. People that
And
have
get scholarship?
yes,
Can they get scholarship too?
yes,
Wow.
they can get scholarship. Yeah, work experience is not a prerequisite for most scholarships. There are some scholarships, again, like I said, it depends on the scholarship. So there's a scholarship called Swedish Institute Scholarship. This scholarship, leadership scholarship, they don't even care about your CGPA, for example. You need to show your leadership skills. Most of the time, people are only able to show that from their work experience, but it's not all scholarships that require you to have work experience. So, like most of the scholarships that you find in Canada, for example, they don't require you to have work experience. It's not a prerequisite.
Okay, thank you so much. Is common law relationship applicable for study visa application or only valid for family sponsorship?
I don't know what the difference is, but yes, you can apply to sponsor your common law partner, even though you are a student, if that's what this person is saying. So if the study permit, you can also sponsor your common law partner. Yes.
Okay. Is there a scholarship for first degree? But I think I don't know. I'll leave her to answer, because if there's scholarship for 2-2, where would there be scholarship for first degree?
Okay, so for first degree, that's bachelor's degree. There are scholarships, but that is not my area of expertise.
Okay.
Not a lot of scholarship for people coming to bachelor's degree compared to people going to graduate school. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Because I like to tell people the reason so that they know why everything is. So when it comes to like graduate school, for example, universities are involved in research. Universities cannot exist without graduate students doing admin role, teaching assistants, graduate assistants. So most of these universities, they pay graduate students to come, give them tuition waiver, pay them teaching assistants to support the smooth running of the university. That's why there are lots of scholarship opportunities for grad school compared to what you have for bachelor's degree.
I think I agree with that too. What tips can you give for writing a statement of purpose?
Okay, so first of all, the most important thing when it comes to statement of purpose is for you not to go on Google to copy. First of all, you'll be caught. In fact, that's the easiest way for you to get your application thrown in the garbage. your SOP should be unique to you. Everybody has a unique story. You need to find your unique story and tell your unique story. That is what differentiates you from the pack of others. So they want to meet you. The admission committee wants to meet you. They want to know who you are for you, not something generic, not what they want to hear. So you need to make sure that your SOP is unique. You have to start it with an opening story or a unique story to tell them who you are. Then you should answer the question of why. Why you? Why this course? Why now? Why this school? These are some questions that your SOP should answer as well for you. And you should let them know what this program is also going to do for you. And most I tell people that don't be selfish when you are doing all these things. When I mean don't be selfish, I mean that you need to also show how this your program is going to help the community, help the world at large. What are you going to do with it? So these are a few things that you can put in your SOP to make you stand out. I'll give us an example. There was somebody that shared a story of her niece or so having autism, being autistic. And what she wrote in her SOP had the challenges that she has observed with the niece's situation as with her autism, and how they've not gotten the kind of help that they require for the niece's specific situation. So now this is very personal to whoever is reading this, that this is a specific situation. Then she also goes ahead to say how this program is going to help her to solve this problem that she has realized with her niece, which based on research, she has seen that nothing has been put out there to solve this problem. So how this degree is going to help her to do that, and what she's going to do, and how this thing that she will now do when she does this finding is going to help the world at large and other children with autism as well. So you see the way she related all of these things. Then again, when you are even writing about these kind of things, so some people don't they don't link things up. Like for example, when you are describing something that is peculiar to your community or to your country, somebody abroad, if they are reading, they don't understand. So you need to link it on a global level to make them understand that, okay, this is comparable to, you link it to something abroad, like, okay, it's something that these people would know globally, just so that they understand what you're saying. Otherwise, person would not understand. These are a few things that you can put in your SOP for you to stand out when you write it.
So, Dr. Zina, I need to clap for you because I'm feeling everything like you're just flowing. Yeah, I like that linking to global level, and I see that you mention global level all the time. Yes, it's very important because they don't know a lot of things that we face as Nigerians or as Africans. So linking it up, and I love that statement of purpose you spoke about right now, because if I am the person, I don't think I would deny such statement of purpose. It looks rich, it looks, relatable. It's like, oh, if you give this person a chance, somebody else might even get a chance at solving the autism problem. And you both, they like all those kind
Yeah,
of,
that's what they like.
yeah, they do. Yeah. So what advice do you have for somebody that's been waiting for study visa for over 1 year?
Okay, so if you've been waiting for study visa for over 1 year, one thing you can do is to request for GCMS notes. GCMS notes is the officer's notes that tells you information about the current status of your application or what happened with your application. So let's say that now you have been waiting. If you request for GCMS notes, you know where your application is stuck, whether they are still doing background check or whether they are still doing your police check or something. It will give you the information of where your application is stuck. So if you request for that, at least you know. And sometimes some people have said that when you request for that kind of thing, is one of their officers that goes there to go and bring out your documents, and then they give it to you. So it means that somehow some people have claimed that requesting for this GCMS note makes them to come and revisit your application, just like it makes them to remember you. So this is what some people have claimed. I cannot say that this is true, but if you request for the GCMS note, at least you know the status your application is and where you are stuck.
Very much. I hope that person has taken note. She said emails have been sent. But is it the same as GCMS note? I don't think so. It's not the same, right? It's not the same. Okay, just send the GCMS note. I have a 12 years gap in my study. What are my chances?
Yeah, like I said earlier, study gap is not your problem. You just need to be able to package yourself for this thing that you are applying for. So package your work experience, package your bachelor's degree or your previous degree, and put it and use that to apply. You can explain, because a lot of people they think that their study gap. In your study gap, let's say you were working, you are acquiring skills from there. You need to show how these skills that you have acquired from your job is going to help you to succeed in this program. So you should always link things and connect these things. So you have to think outside of the box. What do they need for this program? What soft skills, in addition to my educational background, what soft skills do they need? You need to prove that, you need to show that. And I like to also mention volunteering experience. So some people are doing certain things and they don't have enough experience to show for it, or like you can also use volunteering experience to fill the gap for some of the things that you need to show. So for example, if you're applying to scholarships, you need to know what this scholarship organization or what this body, what do they stand for? Whatever you're telling them should be, it should represent what these people stand for. I'll give us an example. The time I was applying for a scholarship for women in STEM, and because I've read about them, I have different experiences, but I need to give them relevant experience. And because this scholarship was for women in STEM, I had to showcase what is my contribution to women in STEM. Because this is what is important to these people. If I go and just write one generic thing there, it won't fly. I won't be able to compete with somebody like me who knows the value of STEM for women to these people. So I packaged it and told them that I teach young girls how to transition to STEM. And also by putting myself out there as an engineer and a woman, a Black woman who has succeeded in STEM field, it also makes these people see like representation. It makes them see that they too can be like me and they too can do this. And I'll add a story and say that my desire to become a chemical engineer was when I was in primary 6, like elementary school, and I went to the refinery and I saw this beautiful, intelligent woman. She wasn't only intelligent by the things that she spoke, but she was so pretty and well dressed in nice heels. And this was the reason why I decided I wanted to become a chemical engineer, because I wanted to be like this woman. And this is a true story, really. I just wanted to be like this woman, and that's how I found myself here. So what happened to me was representation. So it means that if I put myself out there for these young girls, they know that this field is not only for boys, it's for girls. That's how I got this scholarship. The next person don't even smell my back.
Wow, Dr. Zino, you're on fire. You are on fire. Wow. So this person says GCA messages have been sent, but why do you think they delay study application? Because I feel it's not nice when you have given me a visa, you have given me admission letter, and I don't have visa to come. I feel it's not nice. Why do you think there's delay? Because if some people go into depression because of this.
Yeah, it's very painful. But really, nobody can say. The only thing we can say is that they have a backlog. The last one.
Wow.
Backlog of 2.1 million applications.
Wow.
Even internship application is part of the backlog. Me too. I'm waiting. So
Wow.
It's an unfortunate and sad thing when you are waiting, but then nobody can control these things. That's the thing.
Is there any medical insurance that covers both one spouse and child? Medical insurance, is that linking to?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
As a student, you get insurance through your school, which is added into your tuition. Then the school allows people with spouses and children to be able to add their spouses and their children under their insurance, where they pay a little extra for them. So yes, you can do that, and it covers both your medical, like seeing doctors, and dental as well. So yeah, there's insurance for students.
Oh, okay. Amazing. Even if they're on scholarship?
Yes, even if you're on scholarship, yes, you're able to add your spouse and your children to your insurance.
So this might say for someone who worked in a bank for 4 years as sales rep, they have been into personal business for another 5 years, also married. What kind of scholarship can you advise?
Okay, so I cannot advise you on scholarship just based on this information that you have provided. I need more information from you.
Exactly.
To be able to advise you on the kind of scholarships that you should apply. But then I would like to also mention that there are open scholarship and there are hidden scholarships. The open scholarship are scholarships like Commonwealth, Erasmus, Mundus, those scholarships that you hear, and when you search on Google, you find. But there are scholarships that you would not find on Google. Like scholarship I got for the University of Waterloo, if you Google it, you will not find it. So I normally tell people that this open scholarship, they are very competitive. And when I say open, it means that they are open to people for all programs, all schools. They can be like scholarship for all schools in UK. Any program that you are in, they will receive millions of applications. Your chances becomes very slim. But for hidden scholarship, these scholarships are not advertised on Google. Sometimes it receives one application. Maybe you are the only applicant. They will take you because they've already put aside that money for that scholarship, or they are looking for a student to fill that position. So I normally tell people that based on this situation, you need to be able to apply for both. If you apply for open scholarship, you also apply for hidden scholarship, because your chances with the hidden scholarship is higher. So you should be able to apply. You should also apply for this scholarship and try to secure one of them for yourself. It's easier to secure those than those open Commonwealth scholarships and all those ones.
Thank you so much. So it said I have a BA degree in international relations, but I've worked as fashion designer during the gap. Would that suffice?
Of course, it will suffice. So now, what skills did you develop as a fashion designer in addition to your sewing? You also develop skills, customer relationship skills, sales skills. You built a business management. For small business owners, they're everything in their business. So what skills have you developed? I'll give us an example. There's a guy that works with me. He's my video editor. That's all he has done after school. And now he has a bachelor's degree in biochemistry. So now he's applying to grad school 4 years later to do a degree in biochemistry. All he has done is edit videos, and he creates some short videos that he puts on YouTube and whatnot. Do you know that when he did his interview, he was interviewing against 3 people? The reason why he got this funding was when he told his supervisor, when his supervisor asked him, what other skills do you have? How do you differentiate yourself? And he told him, I make videos. I edit videos. He sent me a few links of the videos that he has done, talking about female genital mutilation, all of these short videos. And that was how he secured this funding against 2 other people. So again, what skills do you have? This person is a video editor. What skills do you have? Your skills can differentiate you. So what skills have you picked from your experience as a fashion designer? How can you link it? So your soft skills now, aside from making the clothes yourself, how can you link it now to this program? What will it benefit to this program? That's what you should be thinking about. And so yes, that will work for you.
Thank you so much. So this question is a question that I've always been asking myself. So does this scholarship apply to nursing programs? Yeah. So do they have scholarship in nursing programs? Because I feel they're expensive. So I don't know if government will be willing to sponsor anybody for nursing.
Okay, so when it comes to nursing program, nursing is more like bachelor's degree. And like I said, I'm not professional. So
no, there's masters in nursing.
Yeah, you can get scholarship masters in nursing, but if you're not doing it, yes, I've seen some masters in nursing, especially in the US. Then yeah, you may not get, there are not a lot of funding, but if you're master, yes, they have scholarships.
It's breaking somehow.
Yeah, I don't know. And I also another. It's okay, no, because I have too good to do. I don't
know why this thing is breaking.
Okay. So it's
it is breaking. I don't know why it is breaking. Let me ask. Can we hear her? Because it's breaking at my end. So you can follow her Instagram page. She has Zino Ojogbo. That's her Instagram. I think I pinned it here already. Let me write it again. So you can follow her on Instagram. Send her a DM if you want to book a session with her, or you want to, talk more with her about your own peculiarity, because we're going to be talking general here, really. But if you want to, book a session with her, Instagram handle is right there. I just pinned it. Just follow our Instagram to book a session, send a DM, and then you can enroll into our mentorship program. And you can see that she knows what she's doing. So of course, you're in safe hands, because I like what I'm hearing, and I see that, oh, this person is really, really knowledgeable.
Okay, so
it's still breaking. Why is it breaking?
Maybe mute
Let me mute first and see.
Okay, so like I was saying, it works. Okay. So I was talking about this program that I just found out in Nova Scotia. It's I hear it's a new program, and they provide scholarship through the province of Nova Scotia. It's called the ECIC. I forget the full name. I'm reading from my book because I called the school myself to get this information. So they offer something they call the Cca program. I forget what the meaning of all these things are. But what they do is that they bring in people that want to do it's not nursing. I think it's more like personal support workers. So they bring them and they offer them scholarships of $19,000, and this scholarship covers their tuition, their scrubs, and all those things. But it's just that after the study, they have to stay and work in the province for 2 years or so. So the name of the program is the Cca program offered by the ECIC. If you Google all these things, you're going to find them, and they are owned by Oxford International School Group in North America. So they offer this funding through the province of Nova Scotia. So when you apply to the school and they give you an offer and they let you know that you are eligible for this funding, when it's time to apply for the funding through the province, then they'll send all their students the information. The students can now apply for the funding. You can get the funding, and based on that, you can use that to go to Nova Scotia to do your program. And right after your program, you are able to get a work permit to stay back to do your job, and from there you get a pathway to permanent residency. So I just found that out recently and I called them, and this information is legit.
I pinned it here already.
Okay.
So somebody say, okay, so after your student scholarship and all that, in how many years can somebody become a permanent resident? Let's say I got scholarship.
That's a very good question. So like for me, normally the way students go to the student pathway to permanent residence is that from international students, when they finish their school, they apply for postgraduate work permits. They get postgraduate work permits of up to 3 years, and within that time they are able to apply for different permanent resident program, like either provincial nomination or through the Canadian experience class after getting 1 year of work experience, or in those days when there was still the federal skilled worker program, because that was I did. I never even got postgraduate work permit. I went from international students to PR. So I hear that the federal skilled worker program is coming back again in July. So some of them can apply through the federal skilled worker program. So that's the pathway for students. It's normally international students to postgraduate work permits to permanent residency. Normally, it takes some people between 2 to 5 years for them to complete this pathway. So it depends on the individual.
So much. How do you identify or find the hidden scholarships?
Okay, so how to identify and find hidden scholarship is part of what I would teach you when you come into my program.
Yes, that's what I was going to say, because this kind of thing is not what it's what you are supposed to come and pay for. The mentorship, yes. It's part of because it's like a key ingredient. It's not what you will find everywhere. So of course, so if you want to, because two people have asked now, if you want to identify the hidden scholarship, please book a session, enroll for the mentorship program at Zino Ojogbo on Instagram, to send her a DM, and then you can, start the mentorship session. Can one with a pass in BSc computer science gain admission for PGD program and also get scholarship?
Yes, it's possible for you to get admission for PGD program. However, for PGD program, there are not a lot of scholarships like they are for masters and PhD. Although you can get, but they are not a lot as like compared to the others. It's not a lot. But yes, you can get scholarship. But most people going for PGD, they mostly get part scholarship.
This question: are you going to go through internet for the scholarships?
Of course. Of course. You have to find them in the library, so you have to go through the internet.
You don't know how to go through the internet. It's very simple. Book the mentorship session. Yes, so that because
by step by everything.
How soon can one start working upon arriving in Canada? As a student, I think.
Oh, yeah, as a student, you can start working from the day that you arrive, as long as you have secured a job. From the day that you arrive, start working. And as a student, you're able to work 20 hours per week when school is in session. And when school is not in session, you can work full time, up to 40 hours a week during holidays. So
I'm just trying to see if we have do you need language proficiency test for scholarship applications?
No, for most scholarship applications, you don't need language proficiency tests. No.
Talking about you spoke about the professors asking you questions. So if I apply for a funding or for the scholarship, they set up interviews like this, like one-on-one, that we see each other videos to interview me.
Oh yeah, sometimes some professors will want to interview you, they want to meet you. So yeah. So it happens sometimes. Sometimes some don't care, they don't. They just hire you based on what you have provided in your documentation. But some of them, they want to interview you, they want to talk to you, they want to get to know you, they want to get your vibe to see that, okay, everybody wants to work with somebody. It is more important for people to work with somebody that they can relate to and work with than even what the person has in their degree. Because sometimes some people that they have good degree, good grades, good everything, they are very unpleasant to even be in the same space with. So sometimes they want to meet you to see, okay, can we relate? Yeah.
She just she just answer the question. Are you going to interview? She just answer the question, and sometimes said you can get. And we have answered this question. If you don't have much fund in your account, remember the doctor, she said she even lost her job when she applied for her own scholarship. So she doesn't even have money and she was able to secure the scholarship. So of
Yeah.
course that means it's possible. I'll just say that if at any time you're finding it difficult and you don't know how to go, just book for the mentorship session to get information, to keep yourself on track rather than just beating around. There are a lot of information on Google, but Google is not specific to you. Remember that. I tell people, when you say I will go to Google, Google does not know you. It's not specific to you, like you. But when
Yeah.
you meet a coach is specific to you because you're talking to her. Oh, I have a child or I have 4 children. Google is general for everybody. So
Yeah.
that's why scholarship is mentorship is important. How does one really get the PGWP? What's PGWP,
Postgrad
doctor?
work permit.
Oh, okay.
Apply for post-graduation work permit. I'm talking about that. When you're applying to schools in Canada, you need to ensure that the school and the program you're applying for is postgraduate work permit eligible. Not all schools, not all programs are eligible for postgraduate work permit. So it's very important. You need to start from there to check, even before your application. This is why I talk about the importance of information and strategy. Then when you find out that your school is eligible for postgraduate work permit, now depends on the amount of time you have spent in school. That also determines how many years postgraduate work permit you get. If you go to school for 1 year and below, you get postgraduate work permit equivalent to the number of time you have spent in school. So you do school for 1 year, you get 1 year postgraduate work permit. You do school for 8 months, you get 8 months. You do school for less than that, you don't get postgraduate work permits. If you do school for over 1 year, so let's say 16 months and above, for example, then you get 3 years postgraduate work permit. Now, getting 1 year postgraduate work permit is very risky, and I advise people against it, and I'll tell you why. So for you to transition from postgraduate work permit to permanent residency via the easiest pathway which most students use, which is the Canadian experience class, you need 1 year Canadian work experience, 1 year full-time Canadian work experience. Most students do not get a job immediately after school. So imagine that you now get a 1 year postgraduate work permit and you spend 3 months in that 1 year to get a job. So from when you start working, that's when your 1 year starts counting. And then your work permit expires in 1 year. So it means that you have only gotten 9 months of work experience. It's not enough for you to apply for permanent residency. Then you have to go back home. So this is why it's important for you to target getting 3 years postgraduate work permit so that you have enough room and enough buffer to play around so that you are not risking your PR.
Go back home.
Yeah, I know a few people that have gone back home. Like, it's very sad. So
Yes, it's very sad. Like,
yeah,
go back home. So how did the person start again? Applying again as a student?
yeah.
Oh, no. That's heartbreaking.
Work permit only once. So even if you come back to Canada as an international student, you are not eligible for postgraduate work permit again.
Wow. That's why I don't know. That's why you need to just ask questions and get information before you. It's so important. This person said, do you help in securing scholarship when we book a session with you?
Okay, so what I do is that I don't apply for scholarships for anybody. I teach you how to secure scholarships. I normally tell people that if somebody has to do your scholarship application for you, it means that you don't even deserve the scholarship in the first place. So I teach you how to apply for scholarships. Again, nobody can apply for scholarship for you, because scholarship is like applying for a job. You have to do it by yourself, and there are skills that you get. So I don't do scholarship application for people, but I'll give you the tools and I'll teach you how to do it successfully and give you everything that you need to succeed.
Oh, thank you so much. This Chan, she has answered this question. She said, "Is it compulsory for one to attend school that approve for postgraduate work permit?" She has answered that there are some programs that does not qualify. So you have to make sure your program qualifies first. And truly, aside program, are there schools too that does not qualify for PGWP?
Yeah, so there are some schools that don't qualify for postgraduate work
Oh,
permit.
wow.
Easy to check. If you go on Google now and check list of DLI institutions in Canada. Designated DLI stands for Designated Learning Institutes. These are schools that are able to bring in international Canada. So any school that does not have a DLI number, if you apply to that school, you cannot even come because they don't bring international students.
Wow.
And you check for list of DLI on Google, it's going to give you the official Canada.ca website where you see the list of all the schools in Canada, and to tell you whether they are postgraduate work permit eligible or not. The information is there on the internet for everybody to see.
Okay. So this person says she wants to start schooling. When can she start mentorship program? I think you can start right away. Just send a DM to her.
Yeah, you can start right away.
Yes,
Application
sir.
January is already coming to a close. So you have to start right away.
Yes, postgraduate work permit does University of Manitoba has. I think it depends on the school the person is going, right?
Yeah, so this program work permit is more related to the amount of time how many years is related to the amount of time you have spent in school. So like I said earlier, you do 1 year program, you get 1 year postgraduate.
Yeah.
The program over 1 year, you get 3 years.
Okay. Thank you. Valid. I learned that you need a valid passport to apply for postgraduate work permits. What happened if my passport is expired? Go and read.
Exactly. Your passport.
I be now. You can renew now.
You need your passport, so you renew your passport.
Yeah. Is acquiring an accommodation in Canada mandatory prior to visa application?
No.
No, it's not. When you get here, you can always.
I don't even advise you get accommodation. What if your visa is denied? You have lost your money. So I don't
Just
advise.
like this student visa that does not come on time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to see if we have further questions.
Yeah, I've been here for almost 1 hour.
Yes, it's in 9 minutes we'll be rounding up because I don't want it to pass. I hope you don't have questions anymore before I throw in my question, because in 9 minutes we're rounding up. How many years of PJ for 20 months program?
3 years.
Oh, because is that more than 1 year? Oh yes, 12 months, yeah.
About 1
So the
year.
person gets 3 years. Oh.
Yes.
Please, can RN apply for CCA program you spoke about?
Of course, yes.
Okay, so yeah, just read more about it or book a session. Book a session so that you're not wasting time.
But you work with nurses now, so you give these people this information.
Yes, I work with them. Yes. Oh, yeah. Maybe I should read about the CCA program myself too.
Yeah.
Can't see your pins. No,
Program.
you
So
don't
like
understand.
I don't work with nurses. Like people that are going for masters in nursing. And I find that a lot of people are always saying that they want to go and do. I don't know why Nigerians like to do nursing. They tell you that they have a bachelor's degree, but they want to go and do nursing.
I don't know. Too many people in my DM saying the same thing.
So do you help those people that are from Nigeria, they want to come and do nursing?
Yes, there is after degree nursing program they can do.
Okay.
But they might not get scholarship for it. They have their money. So that after degree is for anybody that, if you like study Yoruba language, they will give you prerequisite courses. Once you can pass that, then you can be enrolled into the after degree program for nurses.
Okay.
Can I start the mentorship program? Yes, now you can. I've answered this question. You can start my mentorship even this night.
Yeah.
So it's night in Nigeria. You can book a session even this night. I'm going to read more about the CCA program. So under the CCA program, does it mean people can get scholarships and all these things under the CCA program?
Yeah, so they give some people scholarship. So they have some scholarship. The scholarship is $19,000. It covers your everything that you need. Yeah.
hope we don't have any more questions, because in 7 minutes we're going to be rounding up. I don't intend to be keeping my guests for too long anymore. Time is money everywhere. Time is money. All this 1 hour she has given us now, she's going to charge for it. Mentorship program. I don't know how much I'm going to pay. So please, if you have question, we have just 6 more minutes to go. I have to read more about the Cca program. Can't hear me? You can't hear me, Princeville? Are you sure you can't hear me? I think this has helped. Yes, I agree. This has helped to even me. Yes, statistical. Yes, please. It's very important. And if you need to contact her for the mentorship program, please do. Princeville, can you hear me now? Oh, he said it's fine now. Okay. So yeah, we'll be leaving the studio soon. What else do I yeah. So are there tips you can give us? Like, are there just general tips you can give to students trying to get into Canada to study for masters, for PhD, or even for their the postgrad no, the first graduate, first degree? What are the general advice you can give them? Like maybe some common mistakes you see people do that you feel they should avoid, so that we can round up with that.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to tell us that to remind us that you can get admissions and scholarships irrespective of your age, your study gap, your class of degree, or program, or your program of study. So there are opportunities for everybody. And second, if you are coming to Canada, it's very important for you to get information first. In fact,
Yeah.
how to succeed, you need to execute on the right information. People have executed on the wrong information and it has ended in tears. So the first thing to do is to gather the right information, and you should know the source that you are gathering information from. Not everybody is giving the right information. This they say. Some people are running from pillar to post. This person said, that person said, my agent said. Agents have applied to people programs that cannot give them postgraduate work permits. Some people they've applied for visas for them, they've used wrong documents, or they've omitted some documents. So these are the things that you need to look out for. And I tell people that you are your best agent. When I say, some people think that I don't know what I'm saying. Why I say this is that these agents that you people use, a lot of them are busy. They are bad agents just the way they are good agents. But a lot of them are so busy that they will not pay attention to your own application the way you would pay attention to it. If you have the knowledge and if you are doing it yourself, some of them don't even have the knowledge like you. So it's important that you learn how to do this, because your relocation journey is too important for you to put in the hands of another person and look away. So you need to know the information and know what you are doing. Then look for program of best fits. Think about the province that you are even going to study when you are coming to Canada. Plan that accordingly based on your specific situation, your family size. Like when I was coming to school, one reason why I chose University of Waterloo is because they give childcare bursary. You know how expensive childcare is in this country, even for international students, very expensive. But University of Waterloo gave me childcare bursary, and with that money I was able to pay for childcare for my child. I don't know any other school in Canada that gives childcare
That does that. And you have a child, so you have to factor that in.
factor that when you're traveling with children, you need to cross all your I's and dot all your T's. If it's only you can just find your way around things. But with children, you need to make sure that your eyes are down. So find the right school for your specific situation. Like we said, the information you get on Google and all that is very generic. For your specific situation, you don't need to find the right province, find the right school for yourself, find the right program as well that will allow you to be able to balance your life together. Then find a program that has funding if you don't have money to fund it. Some people go and choose programs that don't have funding, and they're like, yeah, let's look for funding. If there's no funding for this program, what do? You need to shift. You change your program. If funding doesn't exist, we cannot manufacture funding. Change your program. So you have to have an open mind to all of these things. And having an open mind too comes from having information and knowledge. So that's the basic thing. Otherwise, you cannot think out of the box. You cannot move from A to B. If something is not working, you cannot have a plan B. So these are a few things that you need to think of and know who you are talking to. I cannot overemphasize the importance of mentorship. But when people just feel like, it's too expensive. Ignorance is more expensive. When you make this mistake and you risk losing your study visa, it's more expensive. Some of these things cannot be fixed when you have already made a mistake. So invest in yourself and you will reap the rewards of investing in yourself. So these are a few things that I can tell us to let us know that these opportunities are available, and with what you have, you don't need to do anything extra. You already have all it takes to secure these global opportunities. Leverage on what you already have to secure the opportunities for yourself, and you'll be able to relocate alone or with your family and start a new life in a country with a system that works, where they are when you're
Dr. Zino, I need to come. I need to come. Are you in Toronto? I need to come and see you.
You're really far away. You have to get on the flight.
I'm in Edmonton.
Yeah, you have to get on the flight to see
I
me.
don't mind because this vibe, I need to connect with this vibe physically. Dr. Zino with the fire. So somebody said, how much is your mentorship program? I don't know if you're open to say that here or you want the person to come to your DM, but just let us know what
My DM. Let person come to my DM.
yes, please. You
Right.
see Dr. Zino in our DM. Somebody asked the question quickly. I think we'll just round up with that question. Let me see if I can still find it. Okay, yes, let's quick one, please. Is 3 semester equals 20 months program?
No.
Okay.
So 3 semesters. So it depends on how the school runs their semesters. 3 semesters in Canada is 1 year because every semester is 4 months. So they
Okay.
have a semester that starts in January and ends in April, spring semester that starts in May and ends in August, and fall semester that starts in September and ends in December. So that's 3 semesters. That's 1 year.
Oh, okay. Felix, I don't know what you mean. I didn't hear you say anything about destiny. I don't know what you mean though, but we are rounding up anyways. So a very big thank you so much. Everybody, I'll be saying thank you in the comment section. Thank you so much, Dr. Zino. I actually enjoyed this session, and I know everybody coming will actually enjoy. So that's why I don't want to also keep it past 1 hour, so that when you sit down, in fact, this is not a session that you want to skip because I was just really throwing along. You see that I've clapped for more than 5 times on this live. Or this live because I'm very spontaneous. So when I feel something in my spirit, it just comes. So there is no pretense. You know that I'm really enjoying the session. So I know that people enjoyed it too, and they'll be saying thank you. So to book a session, contact, or you can send me a DM too. I will just forward your whatever to her. But this thing is Zino Ojogbo on Instagram. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I already pinned. Let me pin it again. Yes, so you can reach out to her on Instagram, and she always responds to her DM to book your mentorship class, please. It's very, very important. Thank you so much, Dr. Zino. Thank you so much. I can't say thank you, and yes, I have to come and see you because I need this vibe. I need this vibe physically. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yes, I must say that you really know your onions, and I wish you all the best in your PhD program. And my regards to your Oyinbo husband. She married a white man, though. You better come and ask her for mentorship or not to marry white man. That's another thing, though. Hey. She married a white man, though. Come and ask her for mentorship how to catch white man in the obodo. Because I know she did not come with the white man to Canada. So,
Canada.
yeah. So I think that's another mentorship angle. Doctor, you should open Zino matchmaking Canada session. How to catch a white man in Canada.
I know these white men are very caring. Oh my God, if a white man should love you, oh God.
Yeah, I saw what you wrote about your husband, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Oh my God. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Really
Please kindly like this page. What page? Yeah, my page. Please like my page, oh. All right, Dr. Zino, thank you so.
Yeah, take care. Bye.
I'm also leaving. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you want to contact Dr. Zino, please send her a DM. She's so hot. I can't. She's so hot. So thank you so much for joining me again. We'll bring another program. Zion turned off my light. This boy. We'll bring another program to you right on time. Thank you so much. Bye everyone. Bye.